We got Dwarfs and Skaven versus Chaos and Norsca. Hell yeah. So let's do Skaven for the blue team. All these Skaven Dwarf alliances are throwing me off, guys. We'll do Warriors of Chaos. So, I think we're in the battle now. Yep. For the Super Team 1 army, we're going to be seeing Skaven slaves out front. Looks like we're going to have 5 of them. You see right here. We got some Poison Wind Mortar, or Poison Wind Gullibidiers, some Poison Wind Mortars. We're also going to be seeing some lovely Warp Grinders with that lovely net ability. Behind them, the second line is going to be made up of Clan Rats, as well as Dwarf Warriors. We got 2 Thunderers that I've seen so far. And then we're going to have 2 cannons as well. Got Giant Slayers, the Dragonback Slayers, and another unit of Dwarf Warriors holding down that back line with the cannons. Got some Clan Rat Spears and Rat Ogres as well. On the flanks, we're going to be... Oh, just kidding, that's the other team. For the leadership, we have an Assassin, as well as Grombrindle the White Dwarf, and Lord Skrolk. For the Chaos and Norscan forces, Chaos Warriors are going to make up the bulk of the Chaos Infantry here. Going to have Warriors of Great Weapons, regular Chaos Warriors. Looks like these are Marauders, and then another unit of Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons. For the Norskins, we're going to be seeing Marauders across the front line. Some Marauder Spearmen in the back. On the right flank, you will be looking at some Frost Trolls. I absolutely love Frost Trolls. They are badass. And then we're going to have a Feral Manticore over here in the forest. 2 pips of Veterancy or Chevrons on top of him. Now, other than that, we are going to see 2 Norscan Warhounds over here. Or sorry, Chaos Warhounds and Norscan Warhounds in the forest. Vanguarded for some sneaky action. Got more Norscan Ice Trolls, regular Chaos Trolls. And then for the leadership, we've got an Exalted Hero. We've got Prince Sigvald the Magnificent with his mirror shield and armor so he can take a look at himself. And then we're going to be looking at a Chaos Sorcerer of Death. Spells on him are going to be Spirit Leech and Aspect of the Dread Knight. We're going to have some Marauder Hunter Javelins, and then a Shaman Sorcerer of Fire with Cascading Fire Cloak, Flaming Sword of Ruin, and Piercing... Oh, no, that's Firestorm, I think, is what that's called. No, Piercing Bolts of Burning. I was right. Okay, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Immediately, Poison Wind Mortars are going to be doing some nice damage on top of the Marauders. I would like to see them change targets and shoot the Chaos Elite Infantry personally, but we'll see. It looks like they may be doing that just now. Oh, those Poison Wind Mortars, man, just do so much damage over time. Alright, the Trolls are diving forward. I am a bit concerned about this engagement. Skaven Slave Spears, that's like the perfect unit for them to block as Trolls. The Exalted Hero coming in here way too prematurely as well, and I'm very worried for his chances at survival here as Grombrindle, Lord Skrolk, and the Assassin can easily surround him and just destroy him. So we'll see if that happens, but the Assassin seems to be chasing down those Trolls still who have lost 3 models and are already routing. We have some Chaos Rat Ogres coming out here nicely chasing down this Gorbeast Chariot. Looks like the Chaos Warriors or Great Weapons were coming in to counter them. But now they're going to get bogged down in Skaven Slave Spears. And right now, it just looks like this engagement is really going well for Super Team 1 right off the bat. The Exalted Hero, as I was mentioning earlier, is in combat with Grombrindle the White Dwarf. Or now, this is actually Lord Skrolk, so he's probably going to do very well in that combat. Surprised Grombrindle and Lord Skrolk didn't surround and kill that Exalted Hero, but he has taken a lot of damage. Going to be looking at the Feral Manticore, who has Cascading Fire Cloak cast down on top of him now as he eats up these Dowie Thunderers. And Rat Ogres are coming over here to counter it, try to take it out. Also going to be seeing some Longbeards over here. Grombrindle Has No Fear has been popped, and that means this entire formation from Super Team 1 is unbreakable. We're also going to be seeing a Shockwave coming down over here from the dreaded Warp Grinders, doing some nice damage to the units that caught in that net. Over here, Lord Skrolk has come out on top against the Exalted Hero. He has Scroll of Shielding popped on top of him, though, so he does have that 22% damage resistance. So magical damage, no matter what it is, he will resist 22% of it. But it just seems like the Chaos and Norscan forces have really taken a ton of damage. I mean, the Chaos Warriors, all of them are below half health. Some of them are down to about a fifth of their health left. There's Javelins back here, but once the mortars turn their attention to them, or honestly anything, then they should be short-lived. The Thunderers are still online. Cannons are still online. And that means they're just going to continue to chunk away at the chariots and all these large units. However, I missed that Throggy boy was in this army. King Throg, accompanied by his Frostguard bodyguard, or his Frost Troll bodyguard, are going to be just smashing the back lines here. But uh-oh, this is where the Slayers with the Great Weapons come in. And Slayers with the Great Weapons are going to have a field day. Just look at the health melt away from those Frost Trolls. And now look at Throg, surrounded by Longbeards, Giant Slayers. He's going to die so quickly, and it looks like he recognizes the danger he's in. Gonna pull out, maybe try to regenerate some of his HP and come back later. Right now, it does look like the Dowie and Skaven forces are effectively zoning out the units trying to come back here and tie up their backline. Got the Clanrat Spears, Dwarf Warriors. Everything over here has really done a great job to allow the Poison Wind Mortars to continue firing. Poison Wind Globadiers also coming up into range to fire. And the Thunderers are back here too. And it just seems like you kind of have this very deadly zone, the kill zone if you will, where all of the Chaos forces and Norscan forces are just getting pulverized by the missile fire from the Skaven and Dwarfs. Rat Ogres being used very nicely, diving around to whatever situations need their attention. Manticore going to get up in the air just in the nick of time. And it does look like we're approaching the mid to late game of this battle, but there's still Giant Slayers on the field who are chasing down these Gorbeast chariots. Rat Ogres coming over to intercept as well, and if the Rat Ogres get in here, this could be all, yeah. These Gorbeast chariots are going to start getting tied down by Rat Ogres now, and that's going to allow the Dowie Giant Slayers to just crush them. Poison Wind Mortars are firing away, and now the Gorbeast chariot is diving into the Dragonback Slayers. Nice rear charge, but they're also going to get rear charged now by Rat Ogres and the Giant Slayers. Looks like we're going to see another Manticore summon. Oh, just kidding. Clan Rat summon coming in. And Throg is coming back for more, baby. But he is in the definition of a kill zone right now. You have Thunderers here, as well as Thunderers here, both able to fire in on them. Poison Wind Mortar or Poison Wind Globadiers are pulling out, so they could probably do the same. See a Clan Rat summon and Rat Ogres come over here to pin him in place. And yeah, it's just looking like an insurmountable obstacle for the Great Crusaders to come back and win this fight. Grombrindle's coming over as well. Cannon is firing in. Oh man, that cannon knocked him over, and now Grombrindle's going to come over and give him a taste of his axe. Although he is short and hard to see because of all the big Rat Ogres nearby. Oh, the Assassin's in there too. There goes Throg. There goes the battle. A GG to both of these players, but can we just take a look at Throg to the bitter end? Being an absolute G. Just swinging his hammer about with reckless abandon. But looking at these two armies too, I mean, this one seemed a lot rougher for Vindicare and Dodokison. The Skaven and Dwarf army just like was put together very well and had a lot of layers of infantry that were microed very nicely with the Rat Ogres to provide that mass, because you saw it multiple times. Like, the infantry is just there to tar pit. Rat Ogres show up to pin units in place like chariots, and then it's the Assassin, Grombrindle, that go around and kill things, and the Slayers as well. These Giant Slayers absolutely invaluable. Same with the Dragonback Slayers and the cannons applying consistent pressure. The Thunderers there were used beautifully, and yeah, I mean, I really just can't say enough. It's like when I look at Super Team's army, you know, you have long range with the cannons. You have mid-long range with the Poison Wind mortars. You have mid-range with 2 Thunderers. And then, last but not least, you have Poison Wind Globadiers for close combat, or for close range missile fire. You have the Warp Grinders and net units in place. And you have a hero who can just summon units nonstop to continue adding more units to this meat shield that the Skaven bring. You have a few good dwarf units, but focus on the Slayers so they can dive around into the Skaven slave tar pits and do their work. And yeah, you have a net here to immobilize units. You have a smoke bomb here to slow them down to basically nothing. So yeah, great composition from those guys. Now, looking at the Chaos Army here, I also don't think this was a bad composition. I mean, you have your trolls. I like trolls in case you see any excessive amounts of chariots, like a Doom Wheel or Doom Flayers from the Skaven. For the Dowie, trolls can be excellent against a lot of their infantry. If you micro them well, pull in and out, make sure you take advantage of their passive regeneration. Feral Manticore, great, cheap, terror-causing unit. And Prince Sigvald is very tanky in combat, although I would prefer to see Archaon here just because the Lore of Fire would be very good against Skaven. And Archaon's just better in combat, and he can have his horse. But yeah, looking through it, it's not like anything that really stands out to me as like, why would you bring that? Throg, I would say maybe the one thing here that I would say, I think there's better Lord choices than Throg when you're going up against Skaven or Dwarfs. Mainly because Throg is great at killing large armored single entity units. You know, like think of Shaggots, think of, you know, big heroes on Griffins and stuff like that. He's really good at doing that, and he has that passive regeneration that's super powerful. But when you're looking at Dwarfs, he's not going to really shine. His armor piercing's great, but he's easily countered by Slayers and Missile Fire, and there's also no large units to take advantage of his bonus versus large. And then for the Skaven, I just also think there's a better Lord choice than Throg. Maybe Wulfric on a chariot or his Mammoth, anything like that. But just because the Skaven, like, can't really think of any units where he would really shine in combat. Like even a Hellpit Abomination would probably do okay against him because they both have regeneration. But in any case, other than that, I think both teams, solid armies. Big shout out though to Super Team 1. I think this composition between the Skaven and the Dwarfs was absolutely perfect.